Mount Awesome. This mountain is awesome. It has jumps, it has springs, it has peppers, it has jumps, it has bombs, it has water, it has peppers, it has jumps. Welcome to Mount Awesome, the hardest challenge in this niche platformer. Some people take hours on their first time scaling this slope, but I only have 2 minutes. I'll need to find ways to shave off time, including some pretty cool skips, both intended and unintended. I'll need to be nearly perfect. This is Awesomeaniac. Okay, despite how intense I made the seem at the beginning of the video, this is the easiest badge on the list. If you know the strategies used in obtaining this badge, it becomes incredibly easy to learn and execute, and that's partially what I'm here for. Think of this as a tutorial rather than much of a recap. Firstly, to get to Mount Awesome, you're going to go down the ramp to the library bar thing. Roll inside this hole in this bookshelf, grab the bomb, and get to the waterfall behind the bar as quickly as possible. This will allow you to access Mount Awesome in the first place. But first, there's a few things you need to know about the movement. So most of your movement abilities are binded to one key. It's either F or Shift. These two movement options are rolling and diving. Let's start with the easier to understand. Rolling makes you roll, but you could also jump out of it and get a nice boost forward. Something that you'll also probably need to know is that every single roll has a coyote frame timing. Diving is the more complicated of the two. After you dash, you can do this little spin to keep you in the air a little longer. It's kind of akin to the Super Mario Galaxy spin. The only actually complex tech that you need to learn after this is a high jump. You can do this by diving in midair, and then holding dive as you hit the ground. As you're holding that same button, you'll be prompted by a sound cue that sounds roughly like this to release it and jump immediately. This basically makes you jump a lot higher if a lot of the bonk strats don't work out for you. Now for a step-by-step guide. Start playing as normal. When you get to this wall, either go wide and bonk or do that fancy roll jump I told you about. The rest of the first checkpoint is really straightforward. The second round requires precision and efficiency, but it's still incredibly straightforward until you get to this bomb. There's a few different ways you can treat this jump, just find a method that's consistent for you. This is kind of the method that I used. I just kind of jumped and then used it and then dived. But there's a lot of other viable strategies as well. The third checkpoint is where things start getting genuinely interesting. First, you have to roll off the platform and coyote jump to this spring. This basically skips all of this down here. Then roll and coyote again off of this platform before timing your bomb blast to hit this second bomb up here. This allows you to gain a great deal of momentum, practically skipping the need to collect the checkpoint below. Time your bomb relatively early to capitalize on this movement and land on this platform. Alternatively, you can play for an even riskier but better strategy to skip to the thin platform up here, pretty much entirely skipping the fourth checkpoint. The following underwater checkpoint is played normally up until you roll out of the water. There's an intended skip on the left via an invisible platform that skips the need to do this awful spinner. The rest is played like completely normal, though you can choose to coyote time or dive time this jump, and you can choose to roll jump or dive bonk these last few. The final stretch can almost entirely be bypassed. Follow what I do here until you get to this spring. There's two differing strategies once you get to the spring. One is just to play it like normal and pass the coyote timing, or you can alternatively dive super early and bypass all of that. Be warned though, it's a bit jank. After that, play as normal up until you get to the bomb, where you want to collect the bomb, roll jump, quickly activate your blast, and then bonk on the side of the platform. This skips basically the entire rest of the finale. And that's about it. Hopefully this makes collecting the badge a lot easier. Personally, I started with a 7-minute time, then immediately jumped to a 4-minute time, then almost did it on my third try. This took roughly 30 minutes. I think I did it on my 6th attempt, given I had mistakes on my 4th and maybe 5th run. I had a pretty normal run up until the underwater section where I just couldn't fit in the hole for some reason. Then I continued as normal and then died to not getting enough height on this jump. I managed to have good enough movement just to eke it out anyways. Despite the really short experience, it's super fun. Genuinely one of the most fun badges on the list, and it really shines both in how smooth the gameplay is and how pretty it looks. There's even some really great attention to detail, most notably in the sound and level design. If you played the rest of the game, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. A definite S tier, and it's time to introduce yet another new thing to the series. If a badge is particularly special, meaning S tier or above, it'll get put in Awesomeville. This nifty little Photoshop town is reserved only for the best of the best. Can't imagine what the other place is though. Yuck! We'll have some stinkers down there eventually. As for difficulty, it's by far the easiest in the bunch. Anyone at even an intense skill level in ETOH can do this one, so pretty much anyone with enough time and effort. For that, I'm gonna be giving this one a 0.8 star rating.